Hello, I think we're online. Welcome to our second DOMOTEX webinar. My name is Dunia and I will be taking you through this webinar today. Before we get started, a few organizational points I'd like to mention in the very beginning. We will be recording this webinar so that we can upload it to our website for all those who cannot be with us live right now. No worries, your name will not appear anywhere. The questions from the chat will not be recorded as such, but we will be adding them to our general FAQs in case they're not already included. You will receive the presentation in full afterwards, so there's no need to take meticulous notes on what's on the charts as we go along. We will be talking about the DOMOTEX Digital Days for about 20 minutes. And afterwards, we'll have some time to take your questions. But do post them as well as I go along during the presentation. Please use the chat function to place your questions or send us an email to the address that you see here on the chart. Just do pay attention when sending in questions in the chat to choose all participants as recipients rather than just the moderator, because my colleagues in the team are answering questions in the background as they come in. If you have any individual questions concerning something rather specific to you as an exhibitor, please address that question directly to your contact person within the DOMOTEX team. We will have a chart with all relevant contacts at the end of the presentation as well. But then, without further ado, let's get started. You do not need me to tell you that we have all experienced quite drastic changes and a different world from what we normally know in the last year. Whereas we were lucky enough to hold a normal DOMOTEX show here in Hanover in January 2019, we were hit sideways by the developments of the pandemic for 2020. Hoping for things to take a positive turn quickly, we opted to move the show to May of this year. The idea was to have a hybrid event with a physical part here in Hanover, combined with a digital presence for the companies that could not travel at the time. In fact, we had our very first webinar in November last year on the topic of how to plan your show participation according to the new hygiene and distancing rules for stand spaces, corridors, etc. Well, as it turns out, this hybrid option for May was in fact a bit too optimistic. Even though we did have the official go to organize the show with a strict hygienic concept in place, such as wider corridors, distancing for registrations at the entrances, etc., the issue was, of course, the travel restrictions still in place. Many places are even now still in lockdown, mobility constraints are abound, and the global vaccination campaign is only getting started. With that last point in mind, there is optimism there for the future and time is playing into our hands, but we need to be patient a little while longer. Now, our business as show organizers is bringing together people worldwide in one place. Since that is not physically possible at the moment, we want to offer a digital platform to the market to give you a chance to network with your customers. As such, the idea of the DOMOTEX Digital Days was born. The Digital Days are a 3-day event with a live conference at its heart on the 20th of May. The conference on that day will be curated by us and include speakers on stage, panel discussions, interviews, and so forth, all discussing relevant topics of the flooring industry at the moment. So why, you may ask, does it make sense for me to participate in such an event? Well, because digitally, you can achieve a far wider reach and visibility, independent of place and time zones, whether you want to do business with Asia or Canada. For your individual participation, we offer you maximum flexibility, meaning that while we do, of course, have certain digital packages on offer, which I will be speaking about a bit later, we're also happy to discuss and provide individual solutions for you specifically. And finally, all the content that you upload to the platform will remain online until updated for the next show. To give you an idea of what such a digital event may look like, this is an overview of the different modules that make up the full Digital Days. With a clear emphasis on collaboration, we have put in place several touch points at which exhibitors and visitors can interact with each other. These include options such as live chat, live streams, and so forth. The platform is open for 3 days, as I said, from the 19th to the 21st of May. You can get in touch interactively with your customers and at the same time take the experience to them directly. You can have a live stream from your production facilities, from your showroom, or from the premises of a reference project where your products have been used. On the 20th of May, the conference program is curated by us, and on the 21st, the platform remains open for business dating and your presentations. Which topics will we be focusing on for the conference? Well, we're only just starting to put this together in detail, but let me give you an overview of the direction we're taking. Our keynote theme for this year is Cover New Ground. At the time of its inception, there was actually no connection to COVID-19, but the theme does fit like a shoe in that it can be interpreted as cover new ground, go new ways, find new ways. We as Deutsche Messe, for example, have to find new ways to bring the market together. You as producers may have to find new paths for sales and sourcing, increasing e-commerce activities, and so forth. We break down the keynote theme into the subtopics of balanced and sustainable living. These have not lost their significance despite their seeming omnipresence. On the contrary, the pandemic has made us value health and sustainability even more. Cover new ground also means that the flooring can go beyond the ground and actually move up the walls. And this is one aspect that we want to integrate continuously into the show over the next years under the subtopic of more than floor. Discussion points on the conference may include questions such as the future of retail. What are the learnings from the crisis? What has the global pandemic changed? Which impact has it had on supply chains and on trends? These are all topics that we want to discuss on the 20th during the live program, and we will let you know about the more detailed conference topics over the course of the next weeks and months. Now, we are of course aware that there are plenty of digital offerings on the market by now, and that we have to stand out from that. In order to do this, we will be hosting an exciting program with content that is relevant to the market. This, coupled with you, the exhibitors of the show, will make for a great and interesting platform. These are the actual participation packages for which we distinguish between SM and L, small, medium, and large. Let me quickly introduce these and then go into the various features afterwards. The smallest package is really very affordable with a price tag of €2,900. It lets you add up to 3 contact persons, upload 3 videos to the media library, and will provide up to 50 added leads. In the medium package, the services are somewhat larger. Here you can determine 8 contact persons, upload 8 videos to the media library. For the large package, the services are respectively even more. So you can, for example, name 25 contact persons for the live dialogue function. The extra large package is really meant as a premium package for maximum visibility and extensive live streaming. Here, we're happy to cater to your very specific individual needs and come up with a customized solution that fits you best. That's why there's actually no price tag included yet. Now, if you have any questions about these, please do jot them down in the chat and my colleagues will get to them as they come in. But a lot of it may also become clearer as we move along the different features. So let me go into them now, into what's available in the packages and included there. This is a first overview, and I'll be going into each of these components into more detail. So a big part of the Digital Days platform will be a media library where you can upload videos to. A live stream, not just a video on demand, but an actual live stream from your premises. It's completely up to you what you want to show, which topics you want to discuss, and which products you might want to include in this. Business dating is the networking area of the show. Once you register and then start uploading information to your profile, this information will be available to the visitors of the site, who can then schedule appointments with you directly. There is a possibility to get in touch with customers not just by email or phone, but also via live video call. The live conference as a vital part of the feature programming, I've already spoken about that. Of course, you also benefit from the usual marketing services that we provide, including media cooperations, promoting the event through our channels, social media, etc. Product presentation, this is where you upload all your product information, PDF files, pictures, catalogs, and so on. And finally, lead management, or added leads, as we say, where we provide you with additional leads outside of your usual customers. Now that's the overview. Let me go into the various features individually in a bit more detail so that you get a better idea of what lies behind each box. Let's start with the product presentation. This is where you upload all products that you want to show with their various details, such as descriptions, pictures, catalogs, etc. Once that information goes live, visitors to the platform can view it and start preparing their appointments and so on for the 19th to the 21st of May. It's important to have this section updated meticulously, since the product and exhibitor search is the part of the website that generates the most traffic and views before any DOMOTEX show by far. This is an idea of what the input page for the presentation looks like. You can upload as many products as you like, including a video for each and every one of them. You can also appoint a specific contact person from your company that can answer to questions directly about this product. Now, these contact persons that you can appoint in your company profile, they're important as they're the ones who will be listed for the visitors to see and to schedule appointments with and get in touch with via live calls. So while every participant can use the business dating and networking for sales discussions, only your contacts with the digital dialogue function will be published on your company and product profile pages. The number of contact persons that you can appoint for these live dialogues depends on the size of your package. An interesting new feature for getting in touch is the digital business card, where visitors can leave their business card directly at your exhibitor page, just like they would drop their business card in a bowl at your registration desk for your stand in the analog world. Straight away, this provides you, the exhibitor, with the registered data of the visitor and perhaps a short message that they include for you. The product media library is an integral part of the Digital Days platform. What is it exactly? In short, it's a collection of all top videos of each exhibitor. As I mentioned before, you can upload as many videos as you like as part of your company and product profiles, whether they're product videos or image films. These will be accessible in your personal pages. At the same time, you can select a number of these videos and mark them as highlights. These highlight videos will then join the media library. The number of highlights that you can select again depends on the size of your individual package. Now, as you can imagine, the media library will include many, many exciting videos of all the exhibitors. So how can mine be found, you may ask? All media library videos are assigned to the exhibitor profiles and product pages, and they can be found under the keywords and product groups that you are using, both in the media library search, but also in the overlying search for the full website. So here it becomes apparent that listing your products and videos correctly with the right and relevant keywords is crucial for actually getting found. During the DOMOTEX Digital Days, you will be able to search for visitors and meet them digitally for the very first time. The networking area of this year's DOMOTEX is made up of the matchmaking and business dating services together. Matchmaking means that you'll get proposals of interested visitors that match your themes and interests. Business dating is basically the follow-on to that, as it means the concrete setting up of appointments. So how does that actually work? Quite simply, all participants need to register. Visitors register with their relevant interests, and exhibitors likewise provide their product and contact information. They have to agree separately that they want to be part of the networking services, but we guide you there during the registration process, and it's of course in everyone's interest to network with the market players. Both sides, visitors and exhibitors, can then search for relevant contacts in the other group by different filters and categories, and then get in touch via video call or normal telephone by appointment. When you complete your profile for the networking services, you can also mention your availability so that you don't receive lots of meeting requests for a time when you're not actually available. Once you have received a meeting request, you will get an email notification, but you'll also see it in your calendar that is part of the networking service page, much like you know from your Outlook or Google calendars. You can then accept or decline with a note if you wish, and also export your meeting to your Outlook calendar, for example. By the way, the number of business days that you schedule like this is unlimited. No extra software is required for the video calls. It just takes place via your browser. And the platform for making appointments is online for the full 3 days. So this is really a very exciting tool to be networking with the flooring market players and participants. Next up, we have the live streaming option for exhibitors. Another great feature of the digital days. This is basically the equivalent to a live presentation on your stand. You can stream a live program from your showroom or your production facilities, for example, present your products, and then stream it via the wide reach of our DOMOTEX channels. Once you decide on what you want to stream, you can publish it in the event calendar, the daily fair system. And it makes absolute sense to do so that your event is visible as part of the event calendar that we publish separately, and it can be tuned in by all interested visitors. Now you may think, wow, live streaming sounds great, but it's way too complicated for us. We don't know how to do that. Let me disperse that sentiment. Live streaming has actually become quite simple technically. You can do it via mobile phone, with a computer, or with a professional setup. Either way is possible, and it depends on your facilities. And with either way, we're there to help you along the process. As I said, you will receive this presentation afterwards, and for detailed technical questions, our technical colleagues can advise you on the best way for your company, which is why I'm just skipping through this really fast to show you that live streaming is no big magic and actually very doable. And this actually brings us to the end of the different features of the digital days and the ones included in the different packages. Now, let me perhaps say a few words about visibility in general. In order to be found online, things like free text search, keywords, etc. are what counts. This is nothing new to you. We all know a little bit about how search engine algorithms work by now. The pages of the exhibitor and product search have always been the most visited because this is where the visitors prepare for the event. So do keep that in mind when handling your profile and product pages. And just like you prepare your participation for a physical show, you do all this prep for a digital event as well, meaning invitations to your database, communication campaigns, etc. And just as before, we're always happy to support you in achieving the greatest reach possible through invitation campaigns, advertisements, and so on. Just let us know what your needs are in this respect, and we're happy to help. So that was it for our presentation on the DOMOTEX Digital Days. Before we move on to questions, let me address very shortly the DOMOTEX 2022, since you might be wondering. It will take place between the 13th and 16th of January 2022, Thursday to Friday. It will be a hybrid event in that we have a physical show in Hanover and we'll have an additional digital features to complement it. We're currently finalizing the registration forms, which will be online in the DOMOTEX shop next month. Of course, we'll inform you accordingly so that you can register for our next real meeting here in Hanover all together, which we already eagerly await. We're planning, as in the past, to undertake the whole planning over the summer months, and we'll be working with you bilaterally for all stand options, as we always do. If you have any specific questions about your stand options, like I said before, please get in touch with any of your colleagues in the DOMOTEX team that you see here. Well then, thank you for joining this webinar and for your attention. We look forward to all your questions and feedbacks and hope to have many of you, dare I say all, on board for our digital event in May and next January for the DOMOTEX here in Hanover. Perhaps another note, our next webinar is scheduled for the beginning of April and will contain more information on the conference program, the topics included, the speakers you can expect, etc. But of course, we'll send an invite out for that in due time. We now have some time for questions, and I'd like to open up the floor to you if you wish. Let me turn to the chat now and see if there's anything open there. My colleagues have been busy answering already. What about the carpet design award? Yes, we are planning, we are incorporating the carpet design award. Thilo is already answering. Virtual this year will be part of the show for sure. We see that the presentation will be available in German as well. Yes, that's also the case. Let me see if there's any other questions that are interesting maybe for the whole group. Define them, okay. You weren't able to see the presentation. We will send you the presentation afterwards to all participants, and it will be available by PDF. You will receive it. How many participants are we expecting? That we would like a crystal ball, and of course that is a very difficult question. It's our first digital event, like Sonja has said now, and we don't have anything to compare it to be honest. So this is really a process that we will go through together. We're expecting a lot of our exhibitors to take part of it, of course, and since you will also be inviting your customers and your databases, we do expect a good amount of participants in general to make up those 3 days. The chats can be in the form of video calls. Yes, that's true. And you can also just use normal telephone, obviously, but the video call is, of course, the interesting part. And like I said before, you don't need any extra software for that. It just happens through your browser. If there's any other questions that you come up with later, obviously, that you, once we're offline here, that you don't pose now, do get in touch with any of us, of course, anytime. I don't see anything new coming in at the moment. Video calls available in all packages? Yes, they are. The video calls are available in all packages. The live streaming options start with the medium packages. They're not available in the small one, but video calls, yes, it's for all 3 packages, 4. Are there any further questions? The question is there any limit to the number of products that we can upload? No, there isn't. There's no limit for that. There's no limit for videos that you can upload as part of your product. There's no limit for business dates, for these scheduled meetings that you can do. That's all unlimited. Live streaming, will your products be visible to all customers or to only specified ones? The idea of a live stream in general is that it's accessible to all, but we are aware that this may not be something that everybody wants. Let's say maybe you want to have a special invite for that, and we have a technical workaround for that, in that you can provide a link to a special, I don't know, Zoom, for example, or some meeting that you then send out as an invite, and your attendees will then register for. So it's not available for everybody. What can we expect with a small package? The small package really is a really nice introductory package as such, where that lets you participate in all of the functions that you need for business dating, matchmaking, and so on. It lets you show as many products as you want. It lets you upload videos and so on, and lets you be part of the whole thing, but perhaps not to the extent that you want to do extensive live streaming perhaps for you. So that's what you can expect from the small package. And of course, at any point, if you realize actually we want to do more, it's then possible to upgrade to a larger package as well. Chats will be video chats, video calls, we said. The timings for the digital days. The platform is open for the full 3 days, but yes, the timings for the calls, for the appointments that you can actually make, the video calls, is 9 to 6, because we have to offer the technical support for that in the background. So that's those times to have the video calls are limited 9 to 6, but the platform and the time in which you can schedule appointments, in which you can search and so on, is of course open the full 3 days. Can you have more than one chat at the same time? I would say yes, you can. It really, if you have different users there that are active in different ones, because you can have the number of contacts that can have these live functions is set. There's always several, right? And of course, if you have different phones, computers, whatnot, tablets that you use, you can have several ones at the same time. Yes. Since questions are still coming in, we'll wait a bit longer. Are there any other questions that we can answer now? Yes, is there any last date to upload product profile after participation? Our official deadline is the beginning of May, 7th of May. Of course, you can upload information afterwards as well. Everything will go live, visible for visitors and all participants 4 weeks before the show. You can upload anytime, but of course it makes sense to have it ready at some point, because the visitor can then look around and prepare herself for the event. Like I said, 4 weeks before the show, it goes online, it goes live, which means then they can start looking. So there is no deadline as such. You can always upload more product profiles and so on, but give it some leeway, because you know that visitors don't just show up as well on that day. They prepare themselves accordingly. Well, it depends. How can you protect your collections from competitors? Like I said, for a live stream event, there is the option to have a special closed, let's say, invitation list. And then only certain groups, certain attendees can actually watch your live stream, and which may be perhaps a collection unveiling that you want to show from your showroom. Other than that, when you upload your information, it will be available and visible to all participants as such. How are we supposed to find the right keywords? Do you support us to find? I'm sure that's finding the most appropriate ones while uploading a product. This is probably definitely something we can advise you on. What are the keywords that make sense there? What product groups? You already have a lot of them there already, since you listed under certain product groups and so on. And those are obviously the main filters and categories that the visitors or the participants will then look at. But we can definitely help with that if you send us something and say what are the relevant words there. Although a lot of it is also intuitive. What I meant by it goes live, that was perhaps a bit misleading, my choice of words. What I meant was that the event is 3 days. You're absolutely right. The digital days are 19th to 24th. On the 20th, we have our live conference programming. The information that you upload to your product and company profiles will go online, let's say, be visible to all participants 4 weeks before the show, so that then, as a registered visitor, I can go in and see, okay, who's who's taking part of it, who's participating, and what products are they showing. So that's what I mean by 4 weeks before the show. Can you test the digital functions before? It does. Yeah, this is something we've also thought about, and we will definitely try to have something like that from our technical team, from our technical support. Perhaps that there's a few test logins or something like that you can use. Yes, that's something we're planning. And of course, it makes sense for you to familiarize yourself with the system beforehand, not just the day before. The information 4 weeks before will be from all participants that's available, not just from the exhibitors. So if I'm a visitor to the site and I want to see anything connected to the digital days, meaning company so-and-so is uploading information to their profile and I want to see it as a visitor, I have to register and give my interests, my background and so on. And then this information is the same as the one that you upload as the exhibitor. That will be available 4 weeks before. So you're absolutely right. As an exhibitor, you can then also search the visitor group and invite them. That's the brilliance of this the system, in that for the first time you can really also search by filter and categories the visitors who are registered, and they have to register in order to see the information, and then you can of course schedule appointments with them. Absolutely. Yes, invitations can then go out for the 19th to 21st. Yes, and that's why it makes such sense to have the information uploaded beforehand, because everybody is going to prep for those times, and prepare before and look at all the information that's already available in order to then schedule appointments with you. I hope that becomes a bit clearer now. Is there any other questions? At the moment, there's nothing coming in, but I don't want to cut anybody off. Sorry if we're missing any questions. I hope we have answered everything so far. As I said, we have a very detailed FAQ for the different features as well that will go online very soon. And if any of your questions are not included in that, we will definitely add them. The conference program will be 9 and no longer than 8, definitely. Once you have, the question is whether the platform will be open to upload once you've registered. Yes, absolutely. So once you have registered in the shop, you're free to start. You can upload your information, whatever products you want to show, and so on. So you're ready to get working, but the information will not be online available, visible to everybody until 4 weeks prior to the show. Is there a video showing what the platform looks like? Not at the moment, but we will have live examples, let's say, not just screenshots or what it may look like from events that are taking place prior to the DOMOTEX, and we can definitely then share those with you. This webinar, hello, for those who have joined later, this webinar is being recorded, yes, and we will have it on the website for sure. The chat is not on the website, it's not included because it has the names, data rate, and so on. But the presentation will also be sent to everybody, just like this video will be online. Okay. So I think if there's no other pressing questions at the moment, like I said, we're always there. If you want to call us, email us afterwards. Also via video call if you wish. We're always happy to answer any questions you may have as you go along. A lot of the questions also really just come up as in the doing that you may not even think about before. Yeah. Then I would say let's bring it to an end here. Let's wrap it up. I think there's no more questions coming. So thanks again. We look forward to working closely with you. And for now, wish you a great day. Stay healthy and bye.